Picture a pirate ship cutting through the turquoise waters of the Caribbean. A tyrannical captain stands at the helm, scarred and menacing, his word absolute law for the scoundrels under his command. This image, seared into our minds by centuries of stories, is a lie. Now imagine you're on that same ship. The captain, in a fit of rage, strikes a crewman for a minor offense. But instead of fear, there's a deafening silence as every eye turns to you, because you are the one who can order the captain seized and flogged for breaking the rules. You are not the captain. You are the quartermaster. Welcome to Epoch Immersion. Today we're finding out what it was really like to be the most powerful man on a pirate vessel. A pirate quartermaster in the lawless, chaotic haven of Nassau around the year 1716. Your job is not to swashbuckle, it's to govern. You are the chief magistrate, the union boss, and the supply officer for a floating republic of the world's most dangerous men. Your authority comes not from a cutlass, but from the trust of the crew who elected you. In your sea chest, next to the ship's articles signed by every man, lies your most vital tool, a small, leather-bound set of scratched brass weights. They are not for measuring gold, but for measuring something far more precious on these seas, fairness. And in this world, fairness is the only currency that truly keeps the knives in their sheaths. So why would you want this job? To willingly place yourself between a volatile captain and a crew of hair-trigger cutthroats with only a piece of paper for a shield? The first, most honest answer jingles in your purse. As quartermaster, the articles you protect entitle you to a double share of all plunder. When a Spanish prize is taken and the chests are cracked open on deck, your pile of silver, silk, and gold is often second only to the captain's. Suddenly, your set of brass weights feels heavier in your hand, not just from the value they measure, but from the 100 pairs of envious eyes watching you do it. But the true allure of this role goes far beyond coin. It's about power. On the merchant or naval vessel you escaped, you were property, subject to the brutal, arbitrary whims of officers who saw you as disposable. Here, you are the crew's living antibody against that tyranny. You control the distribution of all food, water, and most importantly, rum. You are the one who adjudicates disputes, and it is your voice that confirms the punishment for a man who violates the code. You are the steady hand required to maintain order in the swirling chaos of a pirate ship. It's a dangerous and radical experiment in self-governance. If you find these hidden social structures from the past fascinating, take a moment to subscribe to Epoch Immersion. It's the best way to support our deep dives. In a world defined by brutal hierarchy, you are the guardian of a fragile democracy. But for every ounce of power you hold, there is a pound of peril. The harsh reality of your position is a constant grinding pressure that can snap a man's mind far quicker than a Navy cannonball can snap a mast. Your greatest and most immediate fear isn't a warship on the horizon. It's the 100 or so violent men you share your bread with. You are the lightning rod for every grievance. When the rum rations are cut, it is your name that is cursed. When a prize slips through your fingers, it is your competence that is questioned in angry whispers. You have to look a drunken brute twice your size in the eye and deny him another drink, knowing that his displeasure might be felt with a knife in the dark. Sleep becomes a memory. You lie in your bunk, listening. Every creak of the ship's timbers, every drunken shout, could be the prelude to a challenge. You are a leader, but you are also a judge, and every judgment creates a potential enemy. In the quiet of your small cabin, you might take out the brass weights. You don't measure anything. You just feel their cold, dense reality in your palm, a tangible reminder of the crushing weight of the souls whose fragile civility rests squarely on your shoulders. And then there is the specter that haunts every dawn, capture. For a common sailor forced into piracy, there might be a sliver of hope for a pardon. For you, the quartermaster, an elected officer, there is none. Your name is on the articles, a signature that is also your death warrant. The hangman's noose in Port Royal isn't just a threat, it's a certainty waiting for you. Your day rarely begins with a battle cry. It begins with the damp, musty smell of the ship's hold. Before most of the crew has shaken off their rum-soaked sleep, you are down below, listening. You're not hunting for treasure. You are the ship's chief administrator, tapping the sides of water casks, listening for the hollow sound that means you're a week closer to dying of thirst. You oversee the inspection of salted beef for the telltale signs of rot, and you calculate the dwindling supply of hardtack biscuits, knowing that the weevils have already claimed their share. Here, your little brass weights are used not for glory, but for survival, ensuring each man receives his precise pound of food. An ounce of difference could be interpreted as favoritism, a spark that could set the whole ship ablaze. By mid-morning, the day's disputes begin to fester. Two crewmen are at each other's throats, accusing one another of cheating at cards. You don't draw your pistol, you pull out the tattered copy of the ship's articles. You become a magistrate in this floating courthouse, listening to their slurred accusations and making a ruling based on the code. Your judgment must be swift, seen as impartial, and absolutely final. It's the unglamorous work of a floating city manager. We love uncovering these surprising daily realities. What's the most unexpected historical job detail you've ever learned? Let us know in the comments below. While the captain is the visionary, searching the horizon for rich prizes, you are the pragmatist, managing the grim reality of the present. You are the glue holding this chaotic enterprise together, tedious, terrifying day at a time. So how do you survive this daily tightrope walk over a sea of sharks? You don't just rely on luck, you master the tricks of the trade. These are not secrets of swordplay, but the subtle arts of psychology, politics, and control. Your most potent weapon is the very document that governs you, the ship's articles. You don't just know them, you internalize them. When a furious sailor challenges your decision on a ration, you don't raise your voice. You calmly quote the exact article he put his X to, using his own sworn oath as your shield and his own comrades as your jury. You learn to dismantle a mutiny before it can even begin. Next, you learn that control over the ship's stores is the ultimate tool for managing morale. An extra ration of rum served the night before a battle isn't an act of generosity. It's a calculated investment in battlefield ferocity. A public and stern denial of a request from a troublemaker isn't cruelty. It's a quiet reestablishment of your authority. You also cultivate a network of key level-headed allies, the Cooper, the Navigator, the older veterans, who understand that your fairness is the only thing protecting them from the law of the strongest. But perhaps your most critical secret comes in the heat of battle. As quartermaster, you lead the boarding party. First over the rail isn't just for glory. While your crew is consumed by the red mist of combat, your first target is the captain's cabin. You're not looking for his personal jewels, but for the ship's manifest. This document tells you exactly what cargo is aboard and where it is. You secure the prize on paper before the crew can start hiding the best loot for themselves, ensuring everything goes into the common pile, weighed and distributed under your watchful eye. So, what is our final verdict on the Pirate Quartermaster? This was not a role for the glorious, the famous, or the bloodthirsty. It was a job for a pragmatist, a diplomat, and a bureaucrat, forced to practice their trade in the most hostile workplace on earth. The quartermaster was a walking contradiction, a lawman for the lawless, a treasurer for common thieves, the elected manager of a floating anarchist state. Their brief experiment in radical democracy was a flicker of lightning in a vast, dark storm, ultimately extinguished by the organized might of empires. Most were captured and hanged, their names footnotes in the trials of their more famous captains. But their ghost, their essential thankless function, is more alive than ever in our world of 2025. Look away from the sea and into the modern office. See the startup COO who isn't the visionary CEO, but the one who actually manages the budget, the deadlines, and the clashing egos of brilliant but unruly staff. See the community manager of a sprawling online forum, trying to enforce a code of conduct on a population that fundamentally despises authority. This is the quartermaster's spirit. They are the essential cog in any collective enterprise, the ones who must impose order on chaos so that the work can get done. They hold the modern equivalent of those scratched brass weights, constantly performing the same vital, invisible task, balancing the infinite, chaotic desires of the individual against the finite resources of the group. The Quartermaster's true legacy is a timeless reminder that for any venture to succeed, be it a pirate ship or a tech company, someone always must ensure the ship is steady and the course is true. Thank you for joining us on Epoch Immersion. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.